In a lush green forest, a magnificent peacock named Percy strutted proudly, his iridescent tail shimmering in the sunlight. Nearby, a plain brown sparrow named Sammy chirped cheerfully while building her nest. Percy scoffed, "Why bother working when you'll never be as glorious as me?" Sammy smiled gently. Every creature has its own beauty and purpose. Percy laughed mockingly, fanning his feathers wider. "Purpose? My beauty is my purpose. Look how all the animals admire me." The forest creatures did gather, but some shook their heads at his arrogance. Days passed, and Percy's pride grew. He would spend hours arranging his feathers by the lake, ignoring others. Sammy continued her work, helping elderly birds and sharing food. Why waste time on them? Percy sneered. The weak don't deserve attention. One morning, hunters entered the forest, laying shiny traps. Sammy noticed immediately and warned others. "Danger! Avoid anything glittering." Percy overheard but scoffed. "Those trinkets are meant for plain birds like you. I'm too magnificent to be caught." At noon, Percy spotted a golden ribbon fluttering near his favorite tree. "This will perfect my display," he declared, strutting toward it. Sammy cried, "Stop! It's a trap." But Percy ignored her, stepping proudly onto the shiny surface. Six snap! The trap closed around Percy's legs. He shrieked in panic, his beautiful feathers thrashing. "Help! Somebody help!" The other birds froze in fear. Only tiny Sammy acted, darting to his side. "Stay still," Sammy whispered. She began pecking at the ropes with her small beak. Percy trembled. "Why are you helping me? I've been awful to you." Sammy replied, "Because kindness isn't about deserving, it's about doing what's right." After much effort, the ropes gave way. Percy collapsed free, his feathers muddy and torn. He looked at Sammy with new eyes. I don't know how to thank you." Sammy simply nodded. "Come, let's get you to safety before the hunters return." In the following weeks, Percy changed. He no longer boasted, instead helping Sammy gather food for winter. The other animals noticed his humility. "What happened to the proud peacock?" they whispered. Percy would just smile and keep working. One evening, young birds asked Percy to display his feathers. He hesitated, but Sammy encouraged him. As he carefully fanned his tail, he said, "Beauty is a gift, not a reason for pride." The forest echoed with applause, not for his feathers, but for his changed heart. Winter arrived, and food became scarce. Percy used his strong beak to dig for roots, while Sammy showed him hidden berry patches. "You see," Sammy chirped, "we all have different strengths." Percy nodded, finally understanding the value of teamwork. One day, they found a frozen pond where birds struggled to drink. Percy remembered his old vanity. "I can help." He used his heavy body to break the ice, creating a drinking spot. The animals cheered, and Percy felt a warmth he'd never known from mere admiration. News spread of the transformed peacock. The wise old owl observed, "Pride isolates, but humility builds community." Percy, once lonely despite his beauty, now had true friends. Even the monkeys who used to mock him brought him ripe fruits as gifts. When spring returned, the forest held a celebration. The animals expected Percy to dance, but he surprised everyone. "Today, we honor those who help quietly," he said, gesturing to Sammy. The sparrow blushed as the crowd cheered louder than they ever had for Percy's displays. Years passed, and Percy became known as the wisest bird in the forest. Young peacocks came to learn from him. "Your feathers will fade," he told them, "but your character grows brighter with each kind act." Sammy, always beside him, would nod in agreement. On his last day, the forest gathered. Percy gazed at Sammy, whispering, "True beauty is felt, not seen." As the sun set, his final words, "Humility, the brightest feather." Animals wept. Sammy smiled. Her friend had finally understood.